Good morning, everyone. Does it ever seem like God's asleep when you pray to Him? Sometimes it does, right? We go through difficulties and we cry out to God, and maybe we're in physical pain, emotional anguish, whatever it might be we're going through. Maybe we're battling with an illness or going through difficulties at work, our marriages, our families, and we cry out and we cry out and we cry out and we cry out. And all we hear is crickets. Isn't that what they said today? Look, they're going through this violent storm, and that was not unusual on the Sea of Galilee for violent storms just to whip up out of nowhere. When we went to the Holy Land a few years ago, on that lake, it's a beautiful lake. It's just smooth as glass. And it could be a blue sky, and these storms will just whip up out of nowhere. And that's kind of how life is, right? So we get hit by storms of all kinds. We get hit left and right, unexpectedly. Maybe somebody dies unexpectedly. We go through a health crisis. We go through financial difficult things hit us all at once. And it's really easy for us to panic, to hit the panic mode, right? And unfortunately, a lot of us, we want to go into control mode, fix-it mode, God mode. We try to take His place, and we try to control it. We panic. And when we can't fix it, we panic even more. And look what they said today in the gospel. We can relate to these men in this boat. Teacher, this is after they woke Him up. Sometimes you got to wake God up. Teacher, do you not care that we're perishing? Lord, can't you see? Can't you see what's going on in our family, our marriage, our fight? Can't you see what I'm going through? Can't you see my battle with cancer? Can't you see? Of course He sees it. He's your Father. He's my Father, a loving Father. Then why in the heck does He let me go through what I go through, darn it? Why does He let me cry out? And He doesn't seem to care, but He does care. He's in the boat. He's sleeping on a cushion, and the waves are crashing in. And St. Mark says the boat was filling up with water. Just imagine that scene for a minute. It's kind of humorous. The boat is filling up with water, and he is asleep in the stern on a cushion. I picture him blowing bubbles. Bloop, bloop. I picture him going underwater, and he's like, and I picture him waking up going, what's the deal? What's the problem? Can't you see? Yeah. So what's Jesus trying to teach them and teach us when we go through the storms? What's He trying to teach us? Relax. I got it. Yeah, but can't you see how serious this is? I've got cancer. We can't pay bills. My kids don't listen to me. My spouse is driving me nuts. And we can go on and on. But the message of the gospel today, I see it, and I'm with you in it. It says in the first reading today that God spoke to Job out of the storm. In other words, God is in our storms. He's with us. He's battling with us. He suffers everything you suffer. He rejoices in everything you rejoice in. He suffers. Look, this is why He came to earth. This is how much He loves us. Yes, I'm with you. I'm suffering all you suffer. When you're on that cross, I'm on the cross with you. I'm there to comfort you and to get you to the other side of the lake, which is heaven. He's with us. All we have to do is look down. Oh, there He is. He's asleep. He's not asleep. God never sleeps. We're the ones that are asleep sometimes. We're not aware that He's with us always. He's with us in other people's encouraging words. He's with us. A lot of times He's right under our nose. We just don't see Him. You know, one of my favorite stories is from the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. And now this is where Israel is going through a storm themselves. Israel is under attack. They've fled Egypt, right, with God's assistance. And they get to a point where they get to the Red Sea. And Egypt, the world's superpower at that time, is on the move. They're going to come after and destroy them, or so they think, right? And they come, and they pin them up against the Red Sea. You ever felt like you've been trapped between a rock and a hard place? And they pin them up against the Red Sea, and the people start crying out to Moses, "Did you bring us out into this stinking desert to die? At least we had watermelon in Egypt. Yes, we were slaves, but we had some nice watermelon." Isn't that how we are sometimes? Yeah, I was a slave to addictions, but at least I had something, you know. Bring us out here to die? And God says to Moses, "Tell the people that I will fight for them." You see, God wants to fight your battles if you let him, but when you and I worry and we get all panicky and anxious and we get in his way and we try to control everything, we get in his way. He says, "Tell the people I will fight for them. All they need to do is be still." Wow, can you imagine telling somebody like that who's under attack, "Hey, God said to me to tell you, just be still." "Yeah, but they're coming." "Yeah, but he told me to tell you just to be still." "Yeah, but look how big and powerful and we're dead." "You sure God said be still?" What? Seemed like he would have said, "Run!" Be still and know that I'm God. Psalm 46, verse 11. So when we're going into panic, we're going through anxiety, we're going through all this stuff, the answer is quiet. Be still. I've got this. I'm God. I'm bigger than any problem you will ever face, even death. Because isn't that ultimately what we're afraid of? Death. Isn't that what COVID was all about? We were so afraid of what? Dying from it. Israel was afraid. These men were afraid. Can't you see we're perishing? Can't you see we're going under? We're going to die. Do something. I've said that a lot to God. Do something. Can't you see? This parish is big. I can't handle all this. I don't know what I'm doing. Have you figured that out yet? I don't know what I'm doing. Help. And he says to me, "Be still. It's my parish, not yours." Shh. It's like a parent picking up a baby, right? Pick up a little baby that's crying in the middle of the night, and the mom picks it up, or the dad. Shh. How many times have you done that with your babies? Shh. It's okay. I know, I'm right here. It hurts so. I know it hurts. Been there, done it. Got the t-shirt. Sorry. Now I feel guilty. See how she's holding that baby? That's how we are. We're like, that priest is yelling up there. He scared me. He's such a mean priest. Why does he yell like that? I'm with you. I love you. I know it hurts. I know it's scary. I know it. I feel it. Because I'm in your bones. I'm in your bodies. I feel it. I know you feel confused. I know you feel overwhelmed sometime. I know you want to just scream sometime, and that's okay. Go ahead and scream. I was praying with somebody the other day, and they were going through some difficulties in their family with one of the kids, and it's a special needs child. And I said, "What's that feel like?" And she said, she just broke down and cried. She said, "I feel so helpless. I can't know what to do." I said, "I know that's got to hurt." And we just prayed. I said, "Let's pray. Because Jesus is right here with you in the boat. He's with you. He's crying with you." He said that Jesus, Jesus probably fell asleep a lot of nights going, I don't know what to do. We forget he's human too. And that's really the story, the message of the gospel today is God is with you. There's nothing too big for him. Where we get in trouble, everybody, is when we take our eyes off him and we focus on the storm. We look at our circumstances around us and we lose our peace. That's exactly what Satan wants you to do. Focus on your circumstance because your God is not here. He's sleeping. That's what he does. He comes to us when we're going through hard times. He says, where is your God? You've been crying out to him for how long now? Has he taken away your pain? Has he answered your prayers yet? You better take things in control because he ain't here. He's sleeping. Isn't that the voices we hear sometimes, the thoughts in our head? And what you and I have to do, Jesus says in the gospel today, he says, where is your faith? St. Paul says we walk by faith, not by sight. In other words, we walk by faith, not by what we feel or don't feel. We're going through dry times and boring times in prayer. It doesn't feel like God's there. It feels like in prayer sometimes that God's not there. He's 1,000 miles away. But in faith, I know he's with me because Jesus says, I will be with you always till the end of the age. I will never leave you orphan. Now, Jesus is either telling me the truth or he's lying to me. And I choose to believe he's telling me the truth. I just don't always feel his presence. I don't always hear my prayers, see my prayers answered, but I know that he's with me and that he's going to get me across this lake to the other side to safe haven. What causes our anxiety is because we believe in two lies, two fundamental lies that cause our anxiety. I'm all alone. And therefore, since I'm all alone, it's all on me. You ever feel that way as a parent? Father's Day, daddies, it's all on me. I'm bringing home the bacon. I better get this ship in order. It's all on me. Or mothers too, it's all on me. And since it's all on me, and God's not with me, think of the pressure. Look at the pressure we put on ourselves. That's a lot of pressure. And therefore, since it's all on me, I'm not safe. But God is with me. He's not only with me, but he loves me. All I have to do is get down on that cushion. I know it's kind of wet down there sometime, but get down there on that cushion with him and lay down and just let him hold you. That's what I do. When I'm going through hard times, I just get down on that cushion and I just let him hold me. And sometimes I beat on his chest like, what are you doing? But just let him comfort you. Because why do you think Jesus was asleep? What do you think he's teaching us? He's teaching us this is how he got through the storms in his life. He always found rest in his Father's arms. He was asleep because he was at peace. He wasn't afraid of a little storm. He felt fear, but he never gave in to fear because he knew who he was and why he's here. He's here to conquer our greatest fear, and that is the fear of death. And you and I don't even have to be afraid of death because he'll raise us up. So whatever you're going through, some of you here this morning, you're going through some hard times. Know that Jesus is with you in the boat. All you got to do is look down. All you got to do is join him on that cushion and just let him hold you. And if we do that, we'll get to the other side.